What's up, guys? Biker Dave here in Marietta, Georgia. This is a 2017 Dodge Durango RT, but this will apply to pretty much all Durango models from like 2011 on up, I believe. As you see, my passenger side headlight lamp is out. And it's not that bad to replace, so don't, you get some outrageous quote from your dealer to replace this headlight bulb. Don't worry about it. It's not that bad. I'll put a link down below where you can get the item. There's the number of the bulb, the D3S. We'll put a link down below where you can get it on Amazon. So really all you'll need is to turn your wheel far left, and it helps to roll backwards maybe just a couple of feet so you can really get the tires turned all the way to the left. And when you look underneath in the fender well here, there's a little access point right there, and we'll pull that cap out and we'll be able to get to the connector. So hold on, we'll do that right quick. All right, from inside here you just grab this knob and just turn it counterclockwise and just pull it out. It's probably going to be a little dirty, so you might want to either wear some rubber gloves, or you can clean off the cap first if you want to, because for most people I'm sure this will be very dirty. And then we take a look inside. It also helps to have a kneeling pad, like for your garden area, because you're going to probably be on your knees, or you might have a little seat that you can sit on. I'll put links down below where you can get those as well, because these are very handy for working on, cars and things in your garage anyway. But that's what I use, a little kneeling pad. Okay, now the first connector you see, the gray one right up there, that is for, your lower little strip light there, so we're not going to deal with that. To get to the bulb, there's a little cover up above it. This little cover right up above it there is what you need to access, and you'll just grab it. It's kind of squishy, a rubbery material, silicone. Grab it and turn it to the left, and it should pop out of there, and that's how we'll get to the bulb. And also note, on the passenger side, you can get to this right under here. There's a wiring harness right down there, and that little cap is right behind there. So for the passenger side, you don't have to get to it from the fender well, but for the driver's side, unless you want to remove your air box right here, which is not that difficult to do, just a few screws to move that out of the way. But for the driver's side, you can also go behind the fender well and get to the bulb that way. So it's, it depends on which bulb you're dealing with. Okay, and here's what it looks like. It is kind of stiff and sticky as far as, if it's been in there a long time, it's a little difficult to remove, so it might be best to clean it off first, or use some rubber gloves so you can get a better grip on this right here, and you just turn it counterclockwise to loosen it, and you just sort of lift it out of there. But it is kind of stiff and sticky, so I actually had to put one hand through this side and then my other hand through here. So I was actually wrapped around this part of the quarter panel so I could really get both hands on it. And it seemed to come out fairly easily. And then when you look up in there, there's the bulb right up in the top. That guy right there. Okay, now make sure that your engine is off. Make sure that the headlights are turned off and everything. Okay, now same ordeal. If we can see down in there. Hold on a second. Inside there, there's like a little light colored trim ring. If you can see in the rear where the metal is for the bulb, right behind it is a little kind of beige plastic trim ring, and it's kind of difficult to turn as well. So you may need to reach from both sides. Reach from the engine compartment side. Reach your hand this way as well as reach your hand under the fender well, and you can really get a good grip on the little plastic piece right there. Show you from inside here. It is a little difficult, you know, especially if your car is older and it's been in there a long time. There it is, right there. All right, now something else you can do, if you want to disconnect your PCM right here, there's a tab. I've already disconnected that. If there's a black tab right there, push down on that, and then this red lever will lift up, and you can pull the connector out of the way to give your arm a little more space to get down in there. But there it is right there. And see that white ring? That's what you have to twist counterclockwise. You know, if you're facing from back to front on the car, twist that counterclockwise and the bulb comes out right there. Okay, and what I notice, if you have about an 8-inch flat screwdriver, you can pry on, there's the connector right there. You have to pry on it to lift it out of it. You know, just sort of twist on it a little bit and you'll get that connector off the bulb. Okay, and there it is. Yeah, that connector goes right there. And they're all, you know, because these haven't been removed in a long time, so they're kind of difficult sometimes. So yeah, I just twisted it off with a flat screwdriver. The connector goes right there and you just pry it off. Comes off pretty easily. And then there's that trim ring that I was referring to. And make sure the little holder, see the open end, make sure it's facing down where the connector goes. Okay, it just sort of slides underneath that little trim. And when you're inserting the plug, make sure you're matching it up exactly, because see how the notches are right there? Make sure the plug is also facing that exact direction, otherwise it won't go in. So you'll be able to see it on the plug itself, but it's a little dark in here, so it's kind of hard to show you. Okay, if you're looking at the connector, hold on a second. See the connector? You'll see a notch on the corner of the connector, and it has to match up exactly with the, you know, the unit itself. Okay, when you're reinserting the bulb with that ring and everything, you know, make sure it fits in really square and snug, and then you'll rotate the ring, you know, towards the outside of the car, like the right side of the car, the passenger side. And it has to fit in there nice and snug so that it can't wobble and fall out, because you'll think you've got it in there, but then if you just barely move it, it can fall out of that slot. So make sure that it feels very secure once it's in there. Here it is. All right, with this inscription, it needs to be facing up, and you'll notice counterclockwise to remove, clockwise to install. And I took just a little bit of simple green and just sprayed on it to clean all the dirt off of it. That way you can get a better grip on the rubbery material. So that's just my little tip. Okay, and you know, to start it, make sure that it's kind of angled to the left. When you're, say I'm facing forward, I'm facing the front, you know, past the front bumper. Make sure that that is started to the left, and then you'll tighten it to the right, and it'll just sort of lock itself in place. And then we're almost finished. And if you disconnected your computer, make sure you reconnect that guy right there. Pull that red lever down, it'll lock in place. See my other video, I've actually done a PCM swap on this, because this one is locked. So if you unlock it, as far as software is concerned, you can then install a performance tuner on this car, and it really bumps up the horsepower. Anyway, that's a side note, but I've done that as well. And before you finish everything, make sure the light is coming on, as you see. And the same thing with the fender cap. I clean mine off with some simple green and just wipe it off with a rag. That'll make it easier to grip, easier to reinstall. And you'll start out with it in this position with the dots in the upright position, then we'll turn it to the right to lock it in place. You see how you start it? The dots are kind of up and down, and make sure that it's kind of wedged underneath this felt of the fender lining. And then just turn it clockwise or to the right. Kind of turn it, it's at a 90-degree angle from where you began, and make sure that it looks like it's in there properly. And that is it. Once again, this is a 2017 Dodge Durango RT. See my other videos. You'll see a playlist link that'll pop up at the end of this one. I got more videos about this vehicle. We've done a Diablo Sport performance tune on it. We've done exhaust to it. We replaced the PCM with an unlocked one. And it makes a big difference in performance on this thing. Oh my goodness. The RT, you know, it's a good strong engine, but it's rather choked down from the factory. So you do those couple things to it, this thing turns into something a lot more fun. And we got tons of videos about cars, trucks, ATVs, dirt bikes, scooters, all kinds of cool stuff. And look for our social media links in the description. And if our video helped you out, make sure you click the thanks button underneath the video screen. Same with any monetized YouTube channel. If their video helps you, click the thanks button. We appreciate, of course, you telling us thank you and all that, but quite honestly, make sure you click the thanks button and shoot a donation. Every YouTube channel that's monetized greatly appreciates it. You'll have a good day. We'll see y'all later.